Hey guys, welcome to n00bs Pro Teachers View. Today I have with me Steph and Foxy.
Hello.
And today I just realized I have my mic.
Oh no.
No, we lost you. We lost the Robert.
How about now?
We
There it
are
is.
good.
Does that sound better?
Yes.
I just realized I had the mic on the floor.
Oh, it actually, I think it sounded better.
It was different.
Put it back.
It still sounded good.
Put it back real quick.
Hold on. Oh, okay. How about that?
All right, talk a little more.
Hello.
I
liked it on in front of him.
Okay,
Because
so yeah, put it in front of you.
It's a more developed sound.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, today we are covering an interesting but underrated. In other words, this video is not going to get many views, I bet. Book called Bullet Points. And it's an interesting what-if take done by Michael Straczynski and Tommy Edwards. Where's my copy? Here it is. And I actually had it signed by Edwards, although he admits it is not one of his favorite books to work on, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Yep,
it's hard drawing some of these. Like, is that the original Iron Man suit or is that the Iron Giant? Like,
no, that's the original Iron Man suit. But basically, this gives us an interesting. It's a long form what if.
I gotcha.
Yep, but let's just get into it right now, and we'll find out what the point value purchase is right off the bat.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Go. And of course, it always does this. Why does it do that? Where I have to refresh it again?
I don't know. It's always with us, though.
No, it's not you. We get into this big going detail over what a bullet. This is a bullet. Weight 123 grains. And size 6.5 x 35 millimeter. This is what it does. Upon being fired, it attains an elegant gyroscopic spin like a football in flight. It loses this ability when it strikes flesh. In attempting to reacquire stability, the bullet, which is heavier at its base, rotates 180 degrees through flesh and tissue in order to achieve a base forward orientation. The effect is much like an ice cream scooper moving through flesh for a distance of 10 to 12 inches and an approximate speed of 360 meters per second. Yada, yada, yada. Overly talking about.
I think I should have read that since I work on firearms.
But is most of that accurate?
Yes, very much so.
The stresses incurred upon entry causes the aft section of the bullet to break apart into jagged fragments of lead and copper. These fragments penetrate radially for up to 3 inches, causing additional cavities in the surrounding tissue and expanding the entrance wound made by initial penetration. Repeat as needed. This is a bullet. This is what it does. But timing, as they say, is everything. As we get summary of, what happened with the Duke that led to World War I, which led to World War II, Gandhi, JFK, Martin Luther King, and even Dr. Erskine, the guy who created the super soldier serum.
Erskine got it. And
it's
a bullet.
Yep.
This is what it does.
It changes history, alters future events. Scatters lives like balls on a pool table. But time it, they say it's everything. Slide one bullet forward just 24 hours. December 8th instead of December 9th, 1940. Which means before Steve would become Cap. The plane's all warmed up and waiting to take you to Washington, Dr. Erskine. Good. And the test subjects? We picked 25 individuals, all rated 4F. This would give us a rock bottom baseline in which to evaluate the effects of your serum. They're good men, and they all want to fight in this war. One of them even waited outside all night to guarantee being first in line for the treatment. Even Erskine. Heil Hitler! But Erskine wasn't the only one shot. His guard was also shot. Get an ambulance! Dr. Erskine! Ben! Hold on, Ben! You'll be okay! Ben Parker.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically, what if
Right.
Uncle Ben and Dr. Erskine were both killed way earlier than either of them should have? One by a day, one by years.
That would be kind of crazy.
Yep. There's been an incident. I can't discuss the details, but the test program has been canceled. But sir, these new newsreels show the Germans are out of control. Sooner or later, we're going to be in a shooting war with these guys, and I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do. Yes, sir, I understand. I'll have all the Project Rebirth files sent back to your office ASAP. Well, we can try, but I think the odds of finding someone who take that deal are few and far between. Please convey my condolences to the MP's family. Thank you, sir. And Steve has stayed there. I thought I said to go home, son. There's nothing to be done here. I know, but I don't. I can't believe that. There has to be something I can do. And General Chester Phillips said this would be the place for me to help in the coming war effort. General Phillips, huh? Rogers, you're the one who stood in line all night, aren't you? Yes, sir. You made quite an impression on the staff. Colonel, the Nazis aren't going to stop unless we make them stop. Sooner or later, we're going to get into the war, and I have to do something to help. Rogers, you're not fit. You wouldn't last 5 minutes. And perhaps not, sir, but at least I'd be serving my country. Those 5 minutes would be the most important 5 minutes of my life. I'm going to give you a card and an address on it. You are to be there tomorrow morning by 7 a.m. Don't be late. Don't worry, sir. I won't be. What do you think about that? The fact that Steve, even hearing all of this, doesn't care.
So I actually think that every Cap story that I've seen does a really good job of making sure he is 100%
America.
willing to lay down his life for his country.
Exactly.
Like 100%, 5 seconds,
well
5 minutes, like always. It always tells the story in such a way that he
means
it's conveyed in one sentence every single time. One sentence, one paragraph, because he wholeheartedly means it. He wholeheartedly.
That's those 5 minutes. Like, hey, those 5 minutes will be the best time. Basically, like a lot can happen in 5 minutes, and he doesn't care.
Exactly. Even if he only gets to take out one dude, or take one dude with him, or do nothing, and it stops somebody else from getting taken out.
Like, who can actually win the day?
Right. He is.
Like, look what happened in the movie.
Willing.
What happened in the movie? They threw with the grenade. Go, get out of the way. Go.
Exactly. He 100% sacrificed.
Even at boot camp, he's like, go.
Yep. Cover up that grenade and just hope for the best.
But yeah, they'll see you now. With the threat of war looming, Project Rebirth was designed to give us a new caliber of soldier, a super soldier. That ended with the murder of Dr. Erskine, and the German government denies any involvement. By the way, and the loss of his research, which he kept entirely in his head for security purposes. Until now, Project Rebirth was our best option for creating a super soldier. Not our only option, just our best option. Before committing to Project Rebirth, we had developed and abandoned several other programs designed to give us enhanced fighting capability. They were deemed to be experimental and too life-threatening for general use. This was one of those options. One of the designers, a fan of weightlifting, dubbed it the Iron Man option. The shell contains a compressive array of offensive and defensive array. So basically, that was the military before Stark came up with an Iron Man prototype, but scrapped it because, well, most people couldn't be able to handle it.
All right. Most people would die in the suit.
Yep, only one prototype was built last year before the program was scrapped, based on 2 operational problems that could not be overcome. First, the mechanism for operating the system and moving nearly half a ton of metal were so massive, took up so much room inside that only a very slender man could enter and use it. So the only type of individual who could drive the darn thing would be considered 4F, which rolled out just about every currently in the service. And I'm not finished. There's still the second reason we abandoned the project. Operating system requires more than battery power. Electrodes must be implanted into the subject's heart and connected directly to the chest plate of the system. Because you see, we cannot risk this technology falling into enemy hands. If the operator should die, or if someone should attempt to disconnect the electrodes, the system will recognize this and self-destruct. Once wired together, even with the self-destruct disabled, the heart cannot be separated from the chest plate without causing the death of the operator. So we're not talking about a 3-year hitch. The integration process will be long, slow, and painful. And once you're in for life. Till deaths or some new technology we can't predict. And do you part? And that, well, son, that's more than we can ask of any soldier. Is that it? Yes. Can I see it? Ha!
All right.
So where do I sign up? He doesn't care.
Does not care. If he can literally stop one other person from getting hurt, it's worth it.
Even if it means me having to wear that suit the rest of his life, sign me up.
For real.
Oh, look at
I will live the next 20 minutes of my life in this suit.
Within these first few pages, JMS proves he gets Cap. He fully understands Cap.
For sure. For sure.
Request Cat and Cat in pace. Go in peace. Oh boy, yeah. Should we go, May? I know, but we should go, May. I know, but we were married only a few months ago. He barely graduated military police school, and now they're going to put him in the ground, Richard. How can I just walk away and let them do that? I know it's hard, May. He was my brother. He was everything to me. Yeah, so that basically, yeah. And of course, this is before Peter's been even born yet.
Oh, May's kind of hot over there, though. Dang.
But, that's Mary. That's not May. That's May. That's Mary. May's right there. We don't see her face.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was May talking right there, not Mary.
No, that was Mary. Hold on.
Oh, that's funny.
You want to see a hot May, Aunt May?
This is a crazy panel, but sure.
Hold on. Let me get it. Although you're going to also have to notice who they kind of look similar to. Hold on.
They make her look like Megan Fox.
No. That's May and that's Mary. Notice, May looks like Mary Jane and Mary looks like Gwen.
Right. What the fuck is that all about?
That's the Trouble comic I told you about before we got
no. Okay. Okay.
So Aunt May looked like MJ and Peter's mom looked like Gwen.
That's creepy.
Yeah, what the hell?
Creepy.
That's the reason why it's not considered canon.
Yeah. Well, that's a good freaking reason.
But yeah, then we find out, of course, about Pearl Harbor and everything, and the Second War had officially begun for the United States. We also then see about trying to hook up Steve and everything. If we drug him up anymore, we lose accuracy. If we speed up the surgery, without it, the pain will be excruciating. Doc, there's no time. Do what you have to. Please. Again, he'll deal with the pain.
Right, though. It's like, momentary if he can do better after.
Yep, exactly. And sure enough, stand by, coming in any second. And holy, Mike, what the goddamn is that? And this is on D-Day.
Wow.
And look, Project Iron Man is officially unveiled.
Let's go.
Yep, of course. Then he's still wearing the chest piece. Obviously, like you should stop for a while. The equipment's overloading. I'll be okay. Just tired. That's all. Just tired. So showing that even without being Cap, he's still being the war hero.
Of course, like Steve is definitely Cap, even as Iron Man. He still has that heart that Cap always had.
Yep, and then there's Bucky. What's your name, son? Private First Class James Buchanan Barnes, but my friends just call me Bucky. All right, Bucky. I hear the Iron Man saved your life. That's right. My buddies and I we had something about all that, and then but for you, and with this and a couple of Purple Hearts to your credit, the war is over. You get to go home. Yeah, I get to go home alive and in one piece, but it's too bad because I wanted to see the Iron Man give it to that ratsy Hitler. So Bucky survived because, well, things played out differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is pretty crazy, though.
Yep, we then get the surrender and then leading into the nuclear age. But then we find out Peter, still lives with his parents, but now he just hands Aunt May to raise him. So he becomes a delinquent.
Huh.
Of course.
Because he doesn't have a father figure.
Doesn't have anybody.
Well, he has Aunt May, but that's it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Aunt May isn't enough.
Hey, Pete. Hey, Parker, you still up for this? Yeah, of course. I'm just waiting for that and for the next flash to go off. That way, and it take a while for their eyes to adjust, and they wouldn't notice us go. Shink, let's go. Beautiful. You were right, Pete. They never saw a thing. Hey, what can I say? I'm the smart one, right? If you're so smart, how come you had to fake your Aunt May's permission slip for this field trip? She's trying to keep me down, you know? She's always saying that I need a man's hand to keep me in line, teach me how to be a guy and stuff. Always going on about this Ben guy she married a zillion years ago. Like he would have made a difference if he'd been here. But I am what I am, right? Hey, Pete, you think you could hotwire that thing? Are you kidding? Let's just go and just get ready to go. So another one, oh boy, whoa, this is a blast. But maybe that's why it was in the repair area. Now you figured this out? How could I? Okay, Pete, when you get to and walk back and get us some gas, how am I supposed to get gas? You'll figure it out. You're a smart one, remember? But it turns out he wanders instead of Rick Jones being there. In fact, I think that was supposed to be Rick was supposed to be one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wanders into the gamma bomb test site. So in other words, it's Peter who becomes the Hulk.
Yeah, I like that.
So notice how we changed things already. We've lost Cap and we've lost Spider-Man, but we got Peter as Hulk and Cap and Steve as Iron Man.
Okay. I think that could work. Like, I feel like.
But what do you think about these explanations? Though? Those are believable explanations.
Yeah, I think they did a good job so far. Honestly.
I mean, they all make sense, don't they?
All right. Oh yeah.
I mean, especially with Steve.
Cohesive here so far.
Yep, with Steve and even with Peter, it makes sense because he wasn't even born when Ben died. So as far as he thinks, like, and of course, Aunt May would be like, "Why can't you go with Ben was here? If you were a kid growing up here and you're the person raising you, just constantly bring up this old guy that you knew beforehand, would you want to be like him, or would you be like, shut up, you old biddy?"
Yeah.
Be honest. You'd be the latter.
I think it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, especially back in these days, and this clearly going realistically, the realistic timeline.
For sure.
So this would be the 50s. So even then, especially Peter would be like, shut it, you old biddy.
Yeah, he would definitely be a little more aggressive.
A little sexist.
It would definitely be sexist.
Oh, it would be sexist, but again, back then. And then you also have May stating it's like, you need a man to raise you right. Oh, why might, and all that stuff.
Right. Even she knew.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get more of a summary about, again, talking about the bullets and everything. But yeah, we see then Peter wake up like, it's a miracle. Miracle, he's alive. He should have been vaporized by the gamma bomb sheltered behind the car. Don't know if we'll ever. You all right, son? It's Bruce. Do you remember what happened? We got lost in the desert and I started walking. Then I saw a car and I asked for help, but there was nobody inside and light. And then the tether turned green. That's all. Well, and the main thing is that you're alive. That's what's important, I guess. You don't think it matters that you're alive? Sometimes. We medevaced your aunt, so she'd be here when you woke up. She's waiting outside. Swell. You can come in now, Mrs. Parker. Thank you. I love you, May. I'll always be here for you. Always. Oh, I think we're also getting the vibe that she's overprotective.
Yeah, also getting another vibe over there. Little spicy vibes.
You could take him home anytime, Mrs. Parker. I'd give anything to know how he survived, but best he gets home for now. He could use the stability. Goodness knows I've tried to give him that ever since his parents died, but it's a difficult task for a single woman living alone. He needs a man's voice, a man's strength. You're being too hard on yourself. Of all boys his age are troubled to one degree or another. He'll come out of this all right. He's just directionless. mad at the world, at the loss of his parents. But he's still young, and sooner or later he'll discover that he can't fight the whole world. Uh-oh!
He's gonna try.
Yep.
It's
And
the
then,
Spider Hulk.
where Steve Rogers, who wore the now famous Iron Man armor during the Second World War, and was honored today with the Medal of Freedom. The armor parts of which were bonded to him for life is now being studied by the military for duplication, provided the problem of lifetime bonding can one day be eliminated. Though no longer on active duty, Rogers remains in reserve and acts as a consultant to the Pentagon on military technology. And that's why the other reason. He's still alive and kicking because they're keeping him in tip-top shape, obviously.
Yeah.
What the? Have a nice trip, Parker. Uh-oh, he's still being bullied. Oh, you're getting mad? You're going to do something about it? You want to fight? You want to fight, loser? Uh-oh, get away from me. Leave me alone. Holy, I won't take it anymore. Do you hear me? I won't take it. No more, no more, no more. Roar!
I'm angry.
Yep. Roar, look out. Hurt you all. That's my dad's car. Forget it. We got to get out of here. It tried to kill us. You got to stop it. Stay away. Leave me alone. Put it down right now. No. Look out. Ting, ting. May, Peter? So she could write tell us like, no, it can't be. May! You have to keep him back. Let him have it. Call for backup. We need an ambulance here. Stat! Is she okay? I don't know. Might be a heart attack. Whatever this thing was, it scared her half to death. So how much longer do you think you can keep me going, Reed? Reed. Oh, Reed Richards. Well, I'd say that depends on you, Steve. Is this another one of those you really should retire speeches? Since you obviously weren't paying attention in the first 12 times, maybe number 13 will stick in. There's no question that you're in astonishing shape for someone of your age. The Army has invested a great deal in your physical condition and health. They obviously want to keep you alive. Well, I'm rather partial to the idea myself. But the higher impacts from the Iron Man armor put a tremendous strain on your heart and nervous system. If you were smart, you never put that thing on again. Well, I've never been accused of being a genius like you, Reed, so I guess I can live with that. The military's never had a weapon and it didn't use at least once. They're going to make more in suits like this, with or without my help. By putting on the armor and going along with the endurance tests and all the other studies, I can help make sure that the kids that come after me, well, they don't go through what I did. Besides, makes me feel less like a relic, like I'm the one who should be behind glass in a museum somewhere. We've been through a lot, the two of us, but it wasn't easy. But we came through and we served the country that gave birth to both of us. Before I call it a night, I just want to finish the job. But that doesn't mean I have to keep you tied up forever, Reed. I don't know what you're a lousy liar, Reed. During the ceremony, I talked with General Ross. He says you're ready to go ahead with that orbital test rocket, but you're dragging your feet. Why? And why didn't you tell me? It needs some tests. It needs to be prepped. Reed, if you were starting prep on that thing when the brass pulled you into the Iron Man project years ago. You're the smartest tech guy on the planet, and there's a reason I'm still alive. It's because you've been tying the bolts and improving the armor for years. You sacrificed your career, put it on hold for my benefit, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat. I know you would. But as you say to me every chance you get, there's a time when you have to walk away and find your own life. So take your own advice. You've done enough, Reed. Walk away. Please. You sure you'll be all right? I'll be fine. I'm like the Tin Man. Just give me an oil can and a pair of pliers, and I'll be fine. It's not like I can't just pick up the phone and give you a call if I'm in a jam. Now get the hell out of here. Again, what do you think about this characterization? The fact is, again, showing the difference. Reed got pulled off from what he was doing to be part of the Iron Man stuff, which means it took him longer to deal with getting everything ready for what would be the rocket that would take him up into space for the Fantastic Four.
Exactly. I kind of feel like they throw you that little curveball.
Again, all this changes everything.
It changes everything because then you have different powers. Like, will he actually be on the ship when they go up, or on the rocket when they go up?
Will things be better, or will it be worse?
Right. Will he already have his powers when they do go up? And like, will
no, that's a definite no. That's a definite no. But even with Steve, I feel like Steve. I do like Steve's personality. Like, even then here, he wants to make sure, he's like, I'm not an idiot. They're going to keep on doing this even if I'm gone. I'm going to make sure, even if it kills me, that it's going to, that whoever comes after me does it right.
Exactly. You know, he wants to make sure.
But you can
Like,
definitely
they have his personalities down. They have a lot of these characters' main personalities down. Very
you know, the artwork, you could definitely tell Tommy Lee was not having a blast with this.
No, it's a lot.
Good. It's
good. It's very good, and I do like how well he drew like the faces, the characterizations of everything is really good. This artwork is actually really good.
Oh, it is, but part of you can see a little bit that his heart wasn't in it. He's still giving it his all, but his heart. It's more of a paycheck job.
Hotline Miami. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like it's a paycheck job for him.
Yeah.
I just want you to know what serving with you these last few years have been the greatest honor of my career. Other people may someday wear that armor, but no, not one of them will have the heart that went with it. Thank you, Reed. My best to Sue. Looks like from here on out, it's just you and me, friend, all the way. Right up until the day they call the game on account of darkness. Stupid people! Stupid! So he's in a dump just smashing everything. No. What's wrong with me? What am I? Do you have any idea what could have happened to your nephew, Mrs. Parker? No, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Peter. We know that it was Mrs. Parker. One of the boys he attacked said he changed into that thing, whatever it was, and that came after them for no reason. That's not true. Peter would never go after someone without cause. Never. We both know he's been in and out of trouble for a long time, Mrs. Parker. Discipline problems at school, failing grades, run-ins with the law, running away. There's no question he's bright, and he has great potential. Lots of kids have potential. Some live up to it, some don't. You've done the best you could as a single woman raising him. We all play the cards we're dealt. Now, if things have been different, maybe we wouldn't be having this conversation. But we can't change the past, can we, Mrs. Parker? I'm sorry, but yep, I'm sorry, and that'll have to be all for now. She needs her rest. She's had a terrible shock. Of course. If you could think of anything that can help us, Mrs. Parker, you have my number. Yes, I have. Shouldn't know anything that can help us. That doesn't mean she can't be of use to us. Whatever may have happened to him, Parker's still a 15-year-old kid. Sooner or later, one way or another, he'll come after her, and we'll be here waiting for her. Speaking of whatever happened to him, why is the military so interested in this case? Clearly someone or something this powerful is a threat to national security. Because the thing is, I heard that the Parker kid was at one of your bases the night they lit up a gamma bomb for a test. Now, maybe there's no connection. Maybe you're here for that very reason you said you are. And maybe we're looking at the oldest motivation in the world. Entitled self-interest. See you around, General. Hard to believe, isn't it, Reed? After all this time, we're finally going up. Yes. So why don't you sound more excited? I know you're not happy leaving Steve, but he's right. It's time. It's not just that, Sue. It's when I first started working on the idea of a ship designed to explore and harness the power of cosmic rays, it was just the four of us on a credit line. And now, and here's the other thing I remember. Reed didn't build the ship.
Okay.
They stole it. So here we're having it be different, where he actually has the resources and everything to build the ship, government approved.
That is pretty crazy. That's a big difference because Reed
a huge difference.
Build that rocket a certain way.
Exactly. So yeah, but also turns out someone is planting a bomb there. Because again, that's the other thing is, they're making a big spectacle about it, as opposed to it being a spur of the moment. Let's sneak in there and go up to space.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have Hail Hydra coming at you.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Well, the cover spells what's going to happen with Reed. He's going to be the new Fury.
Let's go. That's so random.
Not really.
I would rather him be the new Punisher.
It's different. To me. But yeah, so they're all getting ready to go up there and everything. Reed, sometimes I think and I should point out, JMS has worked on Spider-Man, the Thor, and now he's currently working on Captain America. He hasn't worked on Hulk before, but yeah, he's worked on at least 3 of those characters at some point. So he knows these characters in and out.
Right, he knows how to write them well to tell the story.
You know, Reed, sometimes I think you look at that rocket more than you look at me, and you're probably right. But I'll never look at it the same way I look at you, Sue. You better not. But yeah, they're heading up there, and of course, yeah, it's armed. Sure, you're sure there's no mistake, General Ross? The boy actually turned into this creature? None. We've identified the boy as Peter Parker, age 16. 16? Wait, they said 15 before, 14 or 15 before. Whoops.
Right. They literally just said 15, like on the last issue at the very end of the issue.
My guess is time has passed, I'm guessing.
Right. That's the only way to really spell it out, I guess.
But yeah, they summarize about what happened, about Ben being killed, and that's, of course, Steve is connecting the dots a bit. This must have been Ben's nephew, who we never even had a chance to know. His teacher described him. Yeah, we get a nice summary about all that. Aunt May had a minor heart attack when he saw them. And in the next room are 2 or 3 of 3 police officers injured by bullets that bounced off the thing. The third officer died at 8:15 this morning. So to the charges of assault pending against Parker, we can add the charge of second-degree homicide. I disagree. Wow. You said they were hit by bullets that bounced off him. It's not like he did it intentionally. Doesn't matter. Even if it was just accidental, manslaughter committed in the course of a crime, we have to take him down and bring him into military custody. Military custody?
But he didn't shoot the gun or have any access to the firearm. If anything,
they want all the excuses to put him in the military custody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know like the national law is during the commission of a crime, anybody that gets injured, the people committing the crime take the charge. So like if me, you, and Steph are out doing something stupid and I fire a gun and it ends up unaliving somebody, all 3 of us are going to get a homicide charge.
Yeah. But again, it's just them making excuses.
Yeah, to try and get him into military custody.
Yep, but of course, they do say we could get Reed to help because they want Steve to help. But he's like, nope, he has had a good life. He's earned it.
Right.
They're going up. They're ready to go up into space. We see Peter's trying to sneak his way in. Oh, I mean, how can you be a doctor and still drink? Same way you could be beautiful but still annoying. Look, I'm quitting, okay? I've already cut back to a quart a day. They're nuts. Whoever invented pagers should be taken out and shot. I think by now he's probably dead. Good, that'll make him an easier target. You're a very strange man. Oh, strange!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dr. Strange.
Oh, yeah, you in my bed. Dream on, Buster. But yeah, he goes to meet up with her, and it's just like, but of course, like, listen to me. I heard them. They knew you'd come back. They've been waiting for you. I'm sorry, son, but you're going to have to come with me. I want to do this peacefully, quietly. No need to upset your aunt or... No, I don't, and you don't care about her or me. You're just like everybody else who thinks they can push me around. Look, son, and I'm not your son. I'm sorry, I don't want to do this, but you leave me no choice. Tries to shoot him with needles, but nope. No more. And you know, it's a golden suit.
Spider Hulk and Iron Cap.
I'll do it. Roar! Colonel Rogers, are you... Back, stay back, he'll kill you. But sir, you're hurt, we stay back. Nobody goes near him but me, no matter what happens. Run, hurry. Listen to me. If you don't stop this, they'll kill you. Do you understand me? They'll kill you. Let go. Oh, ribs broken, can't see that. No, kill you. Smash you all. Please help us. No, I can't let you. I can't, Jim. And it's okay. You've got just one more second. There, now, just have to. No. This isn't what I wanted, son. I'm sorry. Like, oh God, Peter, no. May? What have I done? He killed Steve.
Oh my God.
What have I done?
But
we're good to go.
Is he actually?
Yeah, he's dead.
Actually, though,
Yes.
just like is it finale?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Steve is dead. And as they're heading up there, boom, we're going down. And Reed's the only one who survived.
What the? Trying to take everybody out.
Yep. Showing this is the turning point of everything. The country was stunned today by the loss of one of our greatest heroes. As they're all memorializing, you were right. It was sabotage. Who are you? Just a friend who can help you find out who put the bomb in that ship and give yourself something to live for. Somehow, I doubt it. You're one of the smartest men on the planet. With the Iron Man project on hold for now and Colonel Rogers gone, we could use some of your skills. Who exactly is we? S.H.I.E.L.D., in other words. You'll come to us, and you come to us, and for all intents and purposes, you disappear from the world. You don't, but you get to serve your country like nobody else can. So what do you say? Just a few days ago, I would have laughed at the idea, but now, to be honest, the idea of disappearing from the world has a great deal of appeal to me. Just now, I want to go away for a while. Just disappear. As Peter's also disappeared. But, get this. Look when they're becoming new Spider-Man. Banner.
That's pretty crazy.
Wait till you see what happened. But yeah, so following the deaths of Ben Grimm and Sue and Johnny Storm in the crash of their experimental rocket, Reed Richards became the spiritual and intellectual leader for S.H.I.E.L.D. He poured his genius into the task of making S.H.I.E.L.D. the most advanced anti-terrorist organization on the planet. To that end, he put out the word to specialists in every field, including computer, medicine, linguistics, and physics, offering them anything they wanted in return for giving S.H.I.E.L.D. their time forever this full time. For one young doctor who had lost the use of his hands in search. So this is where Strange gets hired in. He gets hired in for S.H.I.E.L.D. before he could go out and become the Mystic Journey.
Huh.
Whoops.
That is pretty crazy. Yeah, you screwed up, man. You screwed the pooch on that one.
Yep, but so we find out instead he's able to replicate his hands and everything. So then we would see Baron Mordo become the Sorcerer Supreme like he wanted to. Failed with Dormammu, and thus the Ancient One sits and waits, refusing to die, hoping for the day when the shadow lifts and the worthy successor arrives.
Huh.
Yep.
But he never arrives because he's already got his job.
But so we see everything has been changed. Like they've achieved a destiny for better or worse. So some things have come about, others have not.
Right.
Or again, yeah, we find out it's Peter there. Like, I have to say, your credentials are impressive, even by S.H.I.E.L.D. standards. Thank you, Dr. Richards. So how can you start, Mr. Stark? Like, well, knowing that we had a shot at getting the Iron Man contract, I pretty much cleared the corporate deck. We can start tomorrow if you like. I do have a question, though. We've had the rudimentary Iron Man technology for some time now. Why the delay in moving towards full human testing and mass production? By now, we should, that is, we could have an entire battalion of Iron Men in place. I worked with Steve Rogers. I saw the price he paid when the Iron Man suit was linked into his physio-neural system. He took it like a good soldier, but I could never ask someone to accept that much agony. Not for life. Not for Steve that had to endure. The technology had to be made flexible enough to be linked with a wide range of subjects without causing neural damage, and stronger, much, much stronger. Because there are things out there that are impossibly, inhumanly powerful. Sooner or later, they'll come at us out of the shadows, and we have to be ready. Again, I do like how Reed is different from Fury.
Yeah, definitely.
But still the same.
Smarter.
Yeah. Oh, but look, their first candidate, Bucky.
Of course, I was waiting for it.
Yep. With all due respect to both of you, I'm precluded from this. Then wouldn't a younger subject be our best bet? The younger and stronger the volunteer, the more room there is for error. But when the body is subject to the stress of combat and injuries, that and perfect specimen is nowhere to be found. I want the margin of error as small as humanly possible. Using a slightly older but remarkably fit subject will do the job nicely. And for what it's worth, sir, I volunteered for this job because I have a debt to repay. During the war, Steve Rogers, the Iron Man, saved the lives of every man in my unit. I was just a kid of 17, barely old enough to enlist, but I'll never forget what I saw that day. I honestly believe that if not for Steve Rogers, I'd be dead right now. I have to repay that debt somehow. This is it. So yeah, he's going to agree to do it.
That's awesome, though. I mean,
Yep.
he always did get inspired by Steve.
Yep, and how here it's different. But then we also find out, turns out at the Gamma Bomb test site, they found a spider there, which eventually led to Bruce getting bitten by it, but not yet. For that reason, I know he felt personally responsible for what happened to that kid. So he's always the first to arrive for work and the last to leave the job. The job obsessed him. I should have followed my gut and sent him away before things went as wrong as they did, but I didn't. I think I could cure him, Dr. Richards. Given the subject, I'd say that's a very dangerous thought to have. The goal is to make sure it never happens again and to find a way to stop him when he shows up again. But wouldn't the cure be better? I mean, he's just a kid, for crying out loud. He didn't ask for this. He's probably as scared of what he is as we are of what we could do. What are you suggesting? All our research points to the fact that the gamma radiation penetrated and altered the DNA in every cell of his body. Assuming the effect was consistent, if it wasn't, it would have torn him apart long ago, then any sampling of his cells could give us a template for how his body was affected as a whole. I want to take out a survey, Tim, to some of the places where he's been sighted. If there's any residual gamma radiation adhering to his skin, we might be able to find trace of it, especially in those areas where he's gone on a rampage. If I could figure out what it was done to him, I might be able to undo it. No, it's too dangerous. If you were to run into him, there's no telling what would happen. You're more valuable to me and the project right here. Dr. Richards, please, I'm sorry, but my decision's final. I should have sent him home right then and there. I knew he was in a dangerous mindset, the kind of mentality that leads you to take unnecessary chances. But I thought he could get past it. I was wrong. So he let himself, he then took the DNA from it and then, basically the spider bit him as he was trying to get it from there. And he went through some changes, but eventually, and he went on a rampage for a bit.
Damn.
Come on, Robbie, this is New York. There's no such thing as a slow news day. There has to be something out there we can write about, something different. We were finally able to locate him, and with some difficulty, bring him back into custody. And this was followed by more years of intensive research therapy and medical treatments designed to bring him under control, to rediscover the man within the spider. So as you come on auspice day, Tony, the last of the treatment has been concluded. Yes, he will have to continue receiving medication. He will have to be rigorously monitored for the rest of his life. But Dr. Bruce Banner is back among us. You sure his outfit doesn't look too busy? So he now Bruce is Spider-Man.
That's so random.
Kind of fitting that they swap it.
It is very fitting, actually.
But
like, as much as I would like to see him not be, I think it's very fitting to have him be.
Especially with him trying to figure a cure for Peter. Of course he would.
Exactly. Like, he's actually trying to do good things.
But then something is coming. Galactus!
What the? Why?
Galactus is always going to come to Earth.
Always going to be there. If Reed is around, Galactus
in general.
Is I'm just joking.
So by now, 40 years have passed since that day.
Damn. Okay.
Yep. But so we're going through everything. But again, it's a different world.
All right.
I'm afraid so, Mr. President. They're basically saying how they've compiled everything, interviews with individuals who come from outside our own world. They've identified him as Galactus. Stop him, sir. Perhaps I wasn't clear. Because he was basically saying, he's just going to do this. He's going to consume world after world. So they're doing everything they can, but he has destroyed thousands of worlds, many of them infinitely more advanced than our own in the technology of warfare. No one has ever stopped him. But as I'm sure was said by someone on every one of those other worlds, I have no intention of going down without a fight. Oh, we got the X-Men. We got Doom.
Let's go.
And he puts out a request. He puts out a request for everyone. And we even see Tony's going to put himself in the armor.
That's awesome.
Everyone is showing up. Everyone. Unfortunately, some of our strongest assets are outside communication rate. Thor's dealing with Loki.
All right.
Everyone. So basically, in this version, Reed has made sure he's been in contact with every super team to bring in for the help. Even the Punisher is there.
That's too funny though.
So yeah,
There's all these crazy, like high level, mid level, street level, like bring them all together.
everyone.
Let's go.
If you are within the sound of this transmission, come quickly. We need you. We need you. We're almost to the skirmish line, Dr. Richards. Good. Tell CNC to go on my command. Yes, sir. Steve Rogers, war this during the biggest war we've ever had. Seems the right time to pull it out again one last time. I suspected you might try something like this, Stark, even though given your heart condition, the armor could kill you. You said yourself, Dr. Richards, if we don't stop this now, it won't matter. Won't argue with myself, Mr. Stark, so get ready. Well, Mr. Stark, Tony, if this really is it, then I can't think of any side I'd rather go out on than the one right in front of us. Look at this! Even the goblin!
Yeah.
Even Gobby!
That looks insane, though. I really like that panel.
Look, we're getting everyone, hero or villain.
Right, that is everybody in the freaking Kool-Aid right there.
Yep, but of course, but it's not enough.
Nope. You're not gonna stop Galactus like that.
They're all, but then Peter just keeps on coming up, getting knocked down.
Spider Hulk.
Yep, it was absurd. One pathetic creature, reviled and feared, even among his own kind, standing alone where others had fallen. Absurd, pathetic, not even worth the barest touch of the power cosmic, when the power of Galactus alone would shatter mountains. Absurd, pathetic, inevitable, absurd, pathetic, inevitable. It was an impossibility, an indignity. Any other creature would have fallen, had to fall. Even without calling upon the power cosmic, this was the fire that was the power that was Galactus. This creature would yield. The creature refused. And Galactus, who had devoured thousands of worlds without care of emotion, without regard or involvement, for the first time, knew rage. And Norrin Rand, who had left behind the name to become the Silver Surfer, who had served at the pleasure of his master for years without count, hesitated. With the power cosmic burning in his veins, the Norrin within the Surfer knew that this distorted, revived creature was not battling to save its own life. It was not fighting to save the world it cared, nothing for the sake of the world. Many will risk their lives for glory, for fame, to save the world or themselves. What kind of creature would lay down its life before a world that feared and hated it, to just save one person? May, love you. I'm sorry. What kind of creature? A creature whose dying breath should not have been given in vain. Any world that could breathe such as this did not deserve extinction. No more Galactus! Not this world! Not this world! By attacking an attack by the power cosmic and Galactus could be deflected or defeated, but the device had no such protection. And the second between the Silver Surfer's flare and Galactus's reaction was not enough. In the silent moments that followed, there was evidence of the battle, evidence of Galactus's rage at his betrayal. Surfer knocked down, but of Galactus himself, there was no sign. Departed for other worlds where his device could be rebuilt and its hunger satisfied with less trouble from such absurd, pathetic creatures. He had worked 3 nights trying to figure and to find words. So basically, yeah, everyone and so many have died there. So many gave their lives. And he was like, who gave their lives selflessly, even knowing the road that lay before them, that perhaps is our strength and the purest hope we can experience. We cannot control the future. We cannot do anything else but live out the circumstances that are put before us and accept that while we are fragile, we are as strong as our choices make us. The road we take may not be the road we wish for, and it may be made harder still by loss, by pain, by suffering. But what matters is that we do go on. We find ways. We struggle, but we continue. We may lose those we care about, but we continue. The world we inherit may not be the world we expected. The world may not be we expected. The world we hoped for. The world we thought we deserved. But we continue. We continue. We continue. Because we know they would want us to continue, and to remember that the fate of even one life can change the world, that the history of our species is not just written in epic battles and wars. It is written in the blood of individuals. So as we go forth from this place, as we watch our news and read our papers, let us never forget the importance of those single lives to the world and to the world, to history itself. As John Donne wrote, no man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the maid. Every man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind. Therefore, do not send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Well,
I freaking like that, dude.
it was an interesting what if, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this one, but I actually did a lot.
What about you,
more than
Steph?
I thought I would.
50-50 on it. I liked some of it. I wasn't.
So this is a swap from Camelot Falls, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Very
I
different.
loved Camelot.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about your reactions.
No, I know. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, we've been kind of switching up a lot lately, where it's we don't really have the same opinions on the
The
last couple
styles
ones.
have been so drastically different.
Right.
Especially
Okay, so then let's go with first. Doxy, you first. Your thoughts.
Well, I would honestly, I'd give this a high ranking, probably like an 8.5 or a 9, because the artwork was as good as it's gonna get. Like, yeah, it looked like he didn't want to be there doing it, but it was still really good, especially for the time that they were trying to make it, the time period, all that.
Yep. But the story was
I
an
think
interesting
the story
one.
was actually really well done. Like, it could have used some work and some tweaks, yes, of course, but it was better than a lot of the other freaking books we've seen, and it's better than a lot of the other books out there. At least the writing understood the characters and understood the mission and completed the freaking task.
And it was a well thought out, like you could tell Jim has put a lot of thought into what the divergence would lead into.
Exactly. Each issue actually did build out to something bigger.
Yeah.
It wasn't just building up to something that never came or building up to some BS. It built up to freaking Galactus and a huge fight. Like, they did a very good job.
I will give one problem, though. The fact that it took Peter's sacrifice for surface map out of it, when you can't be like, there could have been someone, and there could have been others from other worlds who did the same thing.
Right.
That I call a bit BS. Like, that felt a bit of a...
Then you get all these other people that show up. And so it's like, clearly it wasn't just
But I'm just saying that. But I'm saying the fact it took Peter just keep on getting up just for Aunt May. It's like, you cannot tell me there hasn't been someone on some other planet who did the exact same thing, but only now it's affecting him.
Yeah.
Probably now it could be the fact that this is the first time he's had someone like that who just keeps getting up.
Right. Never has anybody get up on him before. Everybody just goes down.
One hit.
Right. One hit. Quit eating.
Yeah, but the fact so that could be it, but it still feels a little BS there. But for the most part, everything else made sense. Right down to, again, how different Reed would handle S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
He's not a secretive person.
Right.
Secretive to a point, but not...
But he's still able to run it the same way that Fury did. That's why I would kind of rather seen him be the Punisher. Because it would have been just all out Fury, you know?
But now, what about you, Steph? What's your issues with it?
I just think that, I don't know, I wasn't big on, like, I liked some of the what ifs. I thought they were cool. But I also thought that
this one not too long.
They didn't have to be. They could have been a little bit different. I don't know. I always like a whole lot of emotion in something, and it just kind of didn't.
It rang hollow. It rang hollow.
It did. It was hollow. I really do like emotional stories. I do, and it was. I did like the art. I can see where you would say it was like empty. Like there was no passion there. I think that it can be so well written and so, and like at least some people think it's very well written and the
Yep.
art's very good. But if the passion isn't there, you have something that comes off just like flat,
All right.
like not
Exactly.
amazing, not crap. And it's just like, well, that was
That was
meh.
something.
Yeah, it was
like, that
meant
was
to me.
something.
Like, had everything going for it, but it
Now-
just was like.
Now, what about now? So, let's go by each of the changes. First of all, let's start with let's save Cap for last. Peter, what did you think about Peter?
Hey, I actually liked what they did.
Having been
Spider-Man,
like angry at the world.
exactly, angsty teenager would do exactly what Peter did. Like
Yep.
I
And then, if you notice, he just stumbled into the gamma test site.
exactly. He just stumbled into it, turns into the Hulk, and then the man knows how to fight. He knows how to do all kinds of stuff. Like,
That was a problem, though.
Well,
Like, they
angsty
stumble into
teenager.
something, or they wouldn't explain something enough. But then the things that they did explain, they explained them like with all this exposition. In my opinion, it was like, well, that
here's
didn't
what
need
I
that
look at
much.
it. There's a phrase that I've always heard. I don't remember where I've heard it from, but I've always believed in it. History always holds on to its truth, meaning you could drastically change the history, but history will always find a way to somehow get it back on track to what it was meant to do.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly shown in this story, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It basically tried to get into a close enough timeline, as close enough as it could get.
Yeah.
All because things just changed at one point.
Right. Yeah, and that's the crazy part is these what ifs. It's like one thing changes and the whole universe will shift with that change.
Okay, now what about Reed?
I actually think Reed was one of the weaker characters, like
Really?
story and writing wise. I think they did do a good job with him, but I think that they could have done the writing a little bit stronger for him.
That's true.
Maybe just a little bit different. And like I said, maybe him as Punisher would have been better for me. But that's just my opinion.
I gotta say, Bruce was the most wasted.
Yes, for sure.
It's like they just set him up and didn't do much with him.
Exactly. Like, you can swing webs now. Like, you're Spider-Man now.
We agree.
But
Cap was the best part. Cap was hands down the heart of the story.
Cap made the story what it was. Honestly, it would not have been as high of a rating on mine if it wasn't as good as it was.
And I gotta say,
if they had written it different or they didn't give him enough
time
in the emotion or enough time with the writing, it would be different. But I think they did an awesome job with Cap.
Yeah, and again, the thing is though, he's still different from him as Steve as Cap. Very different.
Right, but still the same motivations.
I know, but it feels like he is more Steve Rogers the whole time. There's no Cap persona, no nothing.
Right.
It's like he's always stayed at that. Because I always feel like Steve, even though you always have him deep down in his heart, there was always a change once he became Cap, because he was this like fully realized what he could do.
Right.
The heart was always there, but I always feel like because he didn't have as much of his restrictions, his limitations, he did slightly change.
Yeah, he went crazy.
No. I'm not saying it was a bad change. I'm not saying a bad change.
I was making a joke.
I know, but it felt like this was still that 4F Steve Rogers from World War II still the whole time.
Right, he definitely did feel like himself the whole time.
So, what about you, Steph? What was your take on Steve?
I like Steve. I think that they could have, I don't know, when you wrestle with something like being a Boy Scout, like Steve Rogers,
or Superman,
Superman, and I'm not one for those characters because of that. I hate the clean cut ones, but I don't hate them. Strong words, but like I like that they gave him, Iron Man's stuff and suit and everything. But I think that it could have been kind of done a little bit differently because it's like how
It's too
the
much
turtles-
1-to-1.
well, how the turtles have lore about how their weapons are based upon like what they wrestle with, you know, what they need to, you know.
Some version of the turtles, yeah, not all
Some.
turtles.
I know some, but it's known
I
that
think
that's
I
what
think they
some
went
of
with
it
the
is.
Iron Man. I think they went with the Iron Man one because that felt the most something that you think the military would have done.
Of
Oh,
course, and I
hell
get that.
yeah.
But he can, you know, just straight up freaking go ham and like I don't know, I just think some of it could have been
Go ham.
explored a little bit more because
Okay,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
oh,
know
yeah, we
he's
could have.
strong, but he doesn't just slit throats, and an
Right.
Iron Man suit could just slit throats when you're not.
Yeah, but I think that shows that he shows restraint still.
Yeah.
But he acts like he doesn't, you know.
No,
like
yeah,
I'm
what do you
all
mean?
for
What
it,
are
bud.
you talking about? Where the hell did he come off like he didn't?
I mean in the sense of, you know, he'll do literally anything for his country, you
Right.
know.
Yeah,
and
but
that,
but you know though, he still argued with them about how to handle Peter.
It's the whole point of like I just think that she isn't taking into consideration that, like, yes, she does have a point
Mhm.
where if his motivation wasn't like he's 100% willing to sacrifice himself, like
Which
if those were not his motivations, then it would have been different.
Oh yeah,
I think
agreed.
that's kind of
agreed.
what she was looking at.
Right,
like,
but yeah,
you
his
know,
motivation is
And keeping that touch for him made it what it was.
exactly. It would have been Steve otherwise. It would have been U.S. agent.
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
yeah. And I like
Steve
the
is
what
not
if.
U.S. agent.
I like the what ifs for some of the more underlying and
Well,
you
okay,
know,
this is
detailed
not
fundamentals of
this is
some
not
of
a
the
full
characters.
on what if. It's a
No,
loose
I'm
what
just
if.
saying I like
Yeah.
those things because
Mhm.
you know, a lot of the stories, what if this person and what if that person, or
Right.
if this had come off differently, like those stories, I like when they go like into the layers of it and
Yeah.
like get really deep with it, you know, not fully, just like, you know, things that we can kind of see without needing to be told to see
Right,
it
right.
as something, you know. I don't know.
I hear you.
Wasn't
I
my
hear you.
favorite. Definitely wasn't my favorite.
Camelot
Camelot is.
you like Camelot more than Doxy did, but I thought Doxy would love the Camelot.
I did like it, but she actually did like it a lot more.
It
than
is.
I
It
did.
is definitely my favorite.
So hey, you're both
Going
equal. You're
from
both
that
even
to
now.
this.
You're both even now.
Yeah, right. Right.
I've been more critical. Usually, I'm just like, I freaking love it.
All right. Well, hey, but I would say I still also really enjoy. I mean, of course I did. Why else would I have a copy of it?
Yeah, right. No, and I really enjoyed the book.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but
like
it's more for Steve than anything else. Peter, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan. I like what was done with Peter, but Peter himself was written a bit too much of a brat.
Yeah, he was like a spoiled teenager who turned the corner to the dark side. Like,
Because he didn't have
kinda
and I think it's also the
because
Aunt
he
May.
didn't have a man.
He didn't have a man in his life. It's like that felt a little heavy-handed.
Yeah.
For sure.
I didn't like
For
that
sure.
story so much.
And it's
Yeah.
like that's kind of, but that is a story that has played out numerous times in real life. So it's hard. Hard to just say like it's bad writing because it is a realistic situation.
At least Aunt May's acknowledging it, and she's not being one who's saying he don't need a man.
Right. At least she is saying it. You know.
Okay, but yeah, so that was Bullet Points. Thank you both for joining in. Thank everyone else for watching. We'll see you guys all on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you guys.
Yep. Next time we have you on, we'll definitely be doing Trouble.
Let's go.
I like the
Trouble.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.